Were the Crusades good? Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to be asking, were the Crusades good? The Crusades are often depicted as an incredibly evil event in European history. But looking into it deeper, can we uncover if there is a hidden truth? Between 602 to 628 AD, the Byzantine Empire went to war with the Sassanid Empire to the east. After 25 years of an often underappreciated war, both sides were spent. Rome had stretched its resources for the last time, and the Sassanid Empire completely collapsed. In the power vacuum that followed, Islam took over. The Islamic Caliphate spread west, conquering North Africa and even Spain. By 900 AD, Islam was even in France and Italy. Islam had a concept of a holy war, a jihad. Their religion encouraged them to declare war to spread the message of Allah. This meant that the Islamic world was constantly invading Europe during the Middle Ages. In 846 AD, Muslim invaders sailed up the river Tiber and sacked St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. This was a significant turning point for the Christian cause, as Pope Leo IV said any Christian who dies fighting the Muslim invaders will be granted heavenly blessings. This was the first notion of a Christian holy war. That is how substantial Islamic oppression had gotten to the Europeans. Islam was spreading into mainland Europe. And I think this is something that is often forgotten about in today's Western understanding of history. The next significant turning point came by 1000 AD. The Islamic Caliphate advanced into Barcelona, and the Christian kingdoms had no choice but to do a reconquista. This was significant as Europeans were becoming more united. The fall of the Roman Empire and the Great Schism meant that European Christians, unlike their Muslim counterparts, were often heavily political and militarily divided. Further oppression of Christians happened in 1064 AD, when Armenia was annexed and its people had to move. Armenia has still not recovered to this day. Turkish troops then advanced onto Byzantium. In 1095 AD, the Byzantine Emperor Alexius pleaded with Pope Urban II for help, and this was the first time East and West had come together since the Great Schism. In today's world, people often forget how divided Europe truly was during this time. The only thing that brought the East and the Western Roman empires together to become united once more was the threat of Islamic expansion into Europe. The Crusades were not evil skirmishes. They were considered at the time to be in defense of Christendom. In addition to military expansion, Islamic beliefs were also considered dangerous for Christians. Muhammad had slaves, and slavery was promoted under Islamic rule. Non-Muslims or infidels were considered second class under Islamic law. Under Islamic rule, the Mediterranean was infested with pirates. The North African Moors in particular would sail to European countries such as Ireland, Spain, Holland, and the south of England. Over 1 million Europeans are estimated to be forced into slavery by the Muslims, especially the Moors, during this period. It's interesting that this is not common knowledge amongst most people today, but the Europeans at the time would have been very frightened by Muslims. The limited experience they had with them would have been by war, piracy, or slavery. Therefore, it is understandable that a lot of Europeans at the time would have taken up arms and joined the Crusades. Islamic piracy turned the Mediterranean into an unsafe place for European trade. Europeans were not allowed to travel east to trade with India. This is actually why Europeans would have to navigate around the west and south of Africa to reach India, and accidentally discovered America in the 15th century. The Islamic Golden Age came at Europe's expense. So imagine you were a European in the year 1095 AD. All that you know about Islam is that they have enslaved your fellow Christians. They have advanced into Europe and are the enemies of Christ. You are not even allowed to travel east and find trade as a merchant with the Orient, because the Islamic world will stop you and possibly sell you into slavery. This is the reason why the war was considered a defense of God and Christianity, and why tens of thousands of Europeans took up arms against the Islamic Caliphate. The Crusades were the first time in hundreds of years that Europe had actually been united. The Crusades were not evil. They were a Christian jihad against the Muslim oppression of the Christian world for centuries. So why are the Crusades considered to be a disaster when they unified European Christians and reconquered territory that had previously been in the hands of the Seljuk Turks? They even temporarily reconquered Jerusalem. In addition to this, the Reconquista of Spain was a huge success. The fact that Europe is not Muslim right now is a testament to the success of the Crusades. So there you have it, folks. The Crusades were not just good, they were hugely successful in the grand scheme of things. Thank you for joining me in today's video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and a comment. This video was just for educational purposes. Please let me know in the comments what video you want me to do next. Thank you, and see you next time.